Today we're going back to April 21st, 2012, the day a career journeyman named Philip Humber had the greatest afternoon any pitcher could ever dream of, and then basically disappeared from the majors. 27 up, 27 down. No hits, no walks, no errors, just pure, impossible perfection. But here's the crazy part. The guy who did it wasn't supposed to be anywhere near this moment. Let's set the scene. Safeco Field in Seattle. Sunny, 64-degree Saturday afternoon. 22,472 fans in the stands. The Chicago White Sox are in town facing the Mariners. On the mound for Chicago is Philip Humber. If you looked at Humber's baseball card in 2012, you wouldn't circle his name for immortality. He was 29 years old. This was only his 30th career big league start. He'd been drafted 3rd overall out of Rice University, traded in the Johan Santana deal, bounced from the Mets to the Twins to the Royals to the A's, and finally landed with the White Sox on waivers. His career ERA sat at 5.31. His 2012 season? He'd finish it with a 6.44 ERA and get waived again by November. But on this one day, destiny showed up with a perfect slider and a sense of humor. The game starts innocently enough. Bottom of the first, Chone Figgins grounds out to first. Humber covers the bag himself. Dustin Ackley and Ichiro Suzuki are retired easily. Ordinary baseball. Then Paul Konerko leads off the second with a homer to left. 1-0 White Sox. Humber comes back out and strikes out the side. Justin Smoke, Kyle Seager, and Jesus Montero on just 14 pitches. The slider was filthy. By the 3rd inning, the White Sox add 2 more runs. Humber is rolling. He retires the Mariners in order again. 5 innings, 6 pitches each in the 5th and 6th. He even fields a bunt cleanly in the 6th. Through 8 innings, 24 up, 24 down. 0 base runners, 9 strikeouts already in the books. The crowd is starting to buzz. Then comes the 9th. Michael Saunders goes down swinging on a full count, out 25. John Jaso flies out 26. Pinch hitter Brendan Ryan steps in. Full count. Humber throws a slider and yanks it way outside. The ball gets past A.J. Pierzynski and trickles toward the backstop. Ryan checks his swing. Home plate umpire Brian Runge jumps and rings him up. Strike 3. Ryan is furious, tosses his bat, starts arguing. Meanwhile, Pierzynski scrambles, grabs the ball, and fires to Paul Konerko at first. Game over. Perfect game. White Sox win 4-0 in 2 hours and 17 minutes on 96 pitches. Humber drops to his knees. Teammates mob him. Pure bedlam. Here's what makes this date with destiny so beautiful. There have been 24 perfect games in MLB history. Most were thrown by legends. Cy Young, Sandy Koufax, Randy Johnson, Roy Halladay, Felix Hernandez. Philip Humber? Career ERA plus of 81, the lowest of any perfect game pitcher. He never made an all-star team, never won a Cy Young vote. This was his only complete game in 51 major league starts. He had come close to no-hitters in the minors in college, but nothing like this. On April 21st, 2012, a guy who was barely hanging onto a rotation spot became untouchable. That's baseball. One day you're a journeyman fighting for your spot. The next day, you're in the record books forever. Quick hits from that afternoon. It was the earliest calendar date perfect game in MLB history, April 21st. 3rd perfect game by a White Sox pitcher after Charlie Robertson in 1922 and Mark Buehrle in 2009. First of 3 perfect games in 2012, the most in one season in the modern era. Matt Cain and Felix Hernandez followed. Humber struck out 9, induced 13 flyouts and 5 groundouts. Philip Humber pitched his last major league game in 2013. He was out of baseball by age 30. But for 2 hours and 17 minutes on a sunny afternoon in Seattle, he was the best pitcher on the planet. That's the magic of dates with destiny. You don't have to be a superstar every day. Sometimes destiny picks the most unlikely guy in the room and says, "Today you're perfect." What's your favorite unlikely hero moment in baseball history? Drop it in the comments or send me a voice note. If you enjoyed this episode, smash that subscribe button, leave a review, and tell a fellow baseball nut about the show. Until next time, remember, every game is a potential date with destiny. You just never know when it's going to show up swinging a slider. I'm Mr. Baseball. Stay curious, stay passionate, and I'll see you at the ballpark.